Hello, let us talk about sentences today, or rather, sentence and types. Remember, when you talk about sentence, or rather, when you talk about the types of sentences, there are two dimensions you are expected to be considering. We have types of sentences according to structure. We have types of sentences according to function. Okay, now we are going to be talking about types of sentences according to structure here. When you talk about types of sentences according to functions, that is where you talk about the declarative, the imperative, and the rest of them. That will be the next thing that will be the next video that will be posted. But for today, we should be talking about the types of sentences according to the structure. Okay, first of all, when you talk about sentences, remember that a sentence is a group of words which has a subject, a predicate, and conveys a complete information ending with a full stop. Before you can consider that thing, that group of words as a sentence, it must have a subject, it should have a predicate. It is expected to convey, to communicate complete idea, and then end with a full stop. That is a sentence. Now, the types of sentences that we have according to the structure, we have what we know as the simple sentence. If you talk about the simple sentence, you are talking about that type of a sentence that has just one subject. Normally, it has one subject and it conveys just one idea. It has one subject and it conveys one idea. Take, for instance, that time when you have something like Obi has arrived. I was there. He left. We went to school. I ate the food. All these are simple sentences. Remember we said that the simple sentence is that type of a sentence that has just one subject and conveys one idea. All right. The next one we are going to talk about, after the simple sentence, we have the second one, which is the compound sentence. When you talk about the compound sentence, this is a type of sentence that involves two independent clauses. You know what an independent clause is? This is a type of sentence that has two independent clauses joined by a conjunction. It is joined by a conjunction or by a semicolon. That is to say, there are two sentences there that ordinarily would be able to stand on their own and communicate complete ideas. But then these two sentences are brought together to become one using a conjunction, a coordinating conjunction, or a semicolon. Take this for instance. When you have something like, I came, this is a simple sentence. I did not see you. This is another simple sentence. Now, there are situations you have something like this, making it become one sentence. I came, but I did not see you. There are situations where you have it joined by a semicolon. Let us say, I punished him. He turned a new leaf. Maybe you have something like this. That situation where you have something like this, these two, each of them can stand alone and communicate complete information. But this semicolon here shows you that whatever you have here is related to what you have here. This is a completion of what you have here. Now, this is what you call a compound sentence. The next one is the complex. We have the third one, The complex sentence. You talk about the complex sentence in that situation where you have one independent clause and then one or more dependent clauses. The independent clause should be one, then one or more dependent clauses. Take for instance, when you have something like, although although I although I stopped the game, although I stopped, the game ended well. Although I stopped, what you have here is a dependent clause. The game ended well is an independent clause. Now, the both of them are related. A complex sentence is that type of sentence where you have one independent clause and at least one dependent clause. What you have here is a compound sentence. And finally, we have the compound complex sentence. Here, you are talking about that type of a sentence where you have two independent clauses and then one or more dependent clauses. You have two independent clauses and then one or more dependent clauses. Let us say that time when somebody says something like, even though I warned him, what you have here is a dependent clause. Even though I warned him, he continued. This is an independent clause. Even though I warned him, he continued. Even though I warned him, he continued and expects me to talk. Take note, expects me to talk and he expects me to talk. What you have here is an independent clause, this is an independent clause, and this is a dependent clause. A compound complex sentence is that type of a sentence where you have two independent clauses, then one or more dependent clauses. If you still do not understand this, or if there is something that is confusing about the explanation that we gave, you do well to ask the question in the comment section or chat me privately. Remember, I said the next video that will be coming will be about types of sentences according to their function. Thank you so much.